This summer, prepare for the next revolution in file sharing. Mega Upload is back. Bigger, better, faster, stronger, safer. And now combined with BitCache, enabling microtransactions with Bitcoin. From the legendary Dotcom, Mega Upload 2.0, and BitCache. Only on BnkToTheFuture.
Hi, it's Max Keiser. I'm here with Simon Dixon and Dotcom. Dotcom has a fantastic project that is about to hit the global markets. Kim, what's the elevator pitch? Give us the short and skinny on this.
All right, so I know how to build high traffic websites. I've built multiple websites that made it into the Excel top 100, and I'm going to create another one, and it's called, the short name is MU2. And on top of it, I'm creating a micropayment solution based on Bitcoin, utilizing the blockchain for file transactions, file transfers, linking file transfers to Bitcoin transactions. And it's called BitCache. And it will be a combination of MU2 and BitCache that is going to make this, an incredible new innovation.
Yeah, you've been talking to me about this for almost a year now, and then at 4 a.m. at a hotel, I was out there, searching the web, and we started chatting, and funding requirements were discussed, and I immediately thought, of course, of Simon Dixon and BnkToTheFuture, that's got the premier global funding platform. And perfect for something like this. Simon Dixon, happy to make the introduction with you two guys. This looks like it's going to be a complete blockbuster.
Well, we hope so. Yeah, thanks for doing the intro, Max. So I've got a few questions for Kim. Obviously, all the investor details and the legal details, we'll leave that for the copy on the investor page for accredited investors. But can you give a quick overview of, we've got services like Dropbox now, which are very well established. We've got Google Drive, we've got different file storing and sharing services. What's the new problem, I guess, the problem that you're solving for customers that hasn't already been solved, and what's new that you're bringing to market with MU2 and BitCache?
Okay, so very simply, we are going to be the most private cloud solution on the market. We will not know who the users are, we will not know their upload IPs, and we will not know the contents of their files. There's no other service that offers that to you. In combination with BitCache, every file transfer can now be monetized. There is a way with microtransactions through BitCache to monetize every single file transfer. And per user, it's really going to be minute. There will not be a lot of money involved, but because of the masses that we are going to move and the millions to billions of file transfers that we will have every day that are all linked to microtransactions, there will be a pool of wealth that can be distributed to content creators, to people that use MU2. So I'm really excited about this new solution.
So, gentlemen, when you talk about Bitcoin, of course, very quickly you get into what's called the block size debate, which has been raging now for a year or so. And this has come up in the discussion of BitCache. Can either one of you gentlemen talk on this a little bit? What is the block size debate, and how does this address the block size debate?
Yeah, so I'll set that up. So at the moment, Bitcoin's, people that know what they're talking about say that Bitcoin can only do about 7 transactions per second. So the core developers are now implementing changes to try and make that, patch that up so it can be done more. And also companies are creating solutions like we've got Blockstream's Lightning Network. What we'd be interested in is what BitCache is doing, because how we understand it is that this is a very specific problem, that you want to attach a Bitcoin transaction to every single file transfer. The last venture you did with file sharing attracted about 60 million users, and you're saying that there's going to be billions of whatever the numbers are. Kim, can you explain why you need this solution and what kind of numbers you were doing before and where you're trying to take this?
Yeah, actually, Mega Upload in its history had over 1 billion users and more than 50 million users a day. So a significant amount of traffic. And MU2 is going to be in the same ballpark. I'm convinced that we will build something here that has mass appeal. And I've always built websites that had mass appeal and were in the top 100 of all websites. So the problem with the blockchain is it's not really scalable. Once you talk about millions and millions of transactions linked to file transfers, you run into the limitations of the blockchain. So we're taking a part of the work that we're doing with BitCache off the chain and doing all these microtransactions for users and then reintroducing the Bitcoin to the blockchain when the user wants to transfer something out. In addition to that, I believe that BitCache will be utilized by all kinds of service providers that have, content that they want to charge microtransactions for. This might save the publishing industry, the online publishers, the news sites that right now are struggling to make any money at all. And I believe that, millions of users are going to be happy about a service like this. The cost per user will be absolutely minimal, nothing like you have ever seen. But because of the pool of users and the massive amount of transactions, there will be a wealth of income to be shared with content creators and publishers.
All right, so Kim.com, if I'm not mistaken, looking back, Mega Upload 1 was getting like 4% of global internet traffic. If you can recapture those types of numbers, we're talking, can this scale to that ability using the Bitcoin, you guys? If it can, we're talking about a complete paradigm shift. What do you think?
Well, now even better than ever. There's really no limit to this new project. 7 years of knowledge are going into this running Mega Upload, and then another 7 years that I had to think about new ways of doing it and doing it way better and more secure than anything I've ever done. So I'm really proud about this. I've evolved quite a bit as an innovator, and I've created these new solutions that are going to be better than anything I've ever done. So my expectations are very high.
All right, well, all the nitty-gritty can be accessed through the accredited investor link on BnkToTheFuture. I think we've covered kind of the points here. Is there anything else you want to just touch on before we say goodbye?
Yeah, my final question and final point is you've obviously set this up whereby you're the company evangelist, but also in your history you've built companies that have gone on to work without you. So have you started to put together a team? And is the goal that you're just initially building the tech and then you're going to be putting together a bigger team? And obviously you've got a history of being able to do that. Could you just share a little bit of insights around behind this? Because you're going to be the evangelist, and then what happens next?
Well, I'm a multitasker, and I always enjoy the founding stage of creating new technologies, but then I'm very good at finding talented people that keep carrying it forward, keep developing it, and I will still be available to advise and help. I want to build this thing and I want to make it big. And until I've done that, I will not be satisfied. And once it's really big and I have new ideas, there will be people to continue the growth path. And you can expect some brilliant people working on this.
All right, fair enough. Well, Simon Dixon from BnkToTheFuture, Kim.com from Mega Upload 2, BitCache. I think we've covered the main points. If you want to dig in deeper, go to BnkToTheFuture.com. There's a accredited investor page, link into that. You get all the salient details. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be Bitcoin huge.
Huge.
It's going to be huge.
Oh my God.
Mega huge.
So big.
Mega.
It's going to be like a solar eclipse. It's going to eclipse the internet. The scaling issues are all gone. It's going to be fantastically big.
Mega.
Mega.
Mega Upload 2.0 and BitCache. Only on BnkToTheFuture.